all the information presented in this video is for educational purposes only. You can use this information for your trading decisions, but you're solely responsible for your decisions. Hello folks, in this video I wanted to talk a little bit about trading mindset, and this video has nothing to do with the trading strategies or the trading tips. As we all know, 90% of the traders fail. So if we are going to, so we have two choices to succeed in trading, right? You can study the large 90% group and do the opposite of what they do, or you can replicate what the other 10% do. So this is what I was thinking, like, what does the 10% do, different from this 90% that makes them very highly successful? So the first of all, in any endeavor, right, like especially in trading, there could be a lot of uncomfortable, there could cause lots of anxiety, especially if you're waiting on a trade and the trade is not going in your direction, but you're waiting on it to go. There's a lot of anxiety. But there are two kinds of people. One people, they get out of this anxiety, they can't handle this anxiety. But this 10% who are in it, they handle it. They handle the anxiety and the pain associated with it. So basically, the 10% who are successful in trading follow these three rules. Okay, number one is I assume that I'm always wrong. Okay, basically, what does that mean is when I enter a trade, I first think about what is the risk that is associated with this trade? How much am I willing to lose with this trade? Initially, when I started, I was always thinking about how big the profit can be. But once I switched this mindset and said, hey, how much can I lose in this trade? I was always taking care of my capital. So that is the first thing that the successful traders do. They don't worry about how much they make, but they always are worried about how much they will lose when they win a trade. And they always believe that they are wrong because they don't think that when they enter the trade that it's going to be successful. Because only if you think you're wrong, you will handle the risk. Otherwise, you will be very confident, and then you will say, okay, let me put the bigger size, right? You wouldn't take care of the position management, you wouldn't take care of your risk and all those things. So it's very important to have this mindset. And the second one is I expect to be uncomfortable. What do I mean by that? For example, right, when you enter the trade, let's say you would have heard a lot of successful traders talking about riding the trend, go with the flow, these kind of things. How do they do that? First, they take care of their risk. Then what they do is they don't assume anything. They trade what they see, and they do not trade what they think. So they follow the trend and they let it ride higher and higher. Now this is not easy, right? For example, when I started trading, first I was like, oh, I made a double. Let me take off some money, or let me take it off. I had enough profit on this. But think about it. A lot of people have successful trades, but still they are not successful because they have big losing trades, right? So we have to make sure that our gains are always higher than our losses. And believe me, guys, you will always have losses. There is no way you can say that you're not. If somebody is saying that I didn't have any losses, he's lying. Trading is never a perfect game. You will have losses, and if you can have gains that are greater than your losses, then you're successful. Okay, that's what it is. So expect to be uncomfortable to doing things that you don't do normally. For example, when you usually if your tendency is to take away your profits at a particular range, you would still ride it higher and you develop that anxiety. But you have to go with it, okay? And you should not get away with it. And the third thing is, remember I told you the first point was I always expect to be wrong, right? So when I expect to be wrong, I take care of my risk. But if suppose if I was proven wrong, and if the trade goes in the direction that I have placed my trade, for example, if I placed a call on the stock is going long, then I would add to that position. But previously, what I used to do is if let's say if I bought a Apple calls for expiring this week for $2. And if it had gone to $1.70, I would have added more to that losing position, which is not what a successful trader or a pros would do. The pros would never add to the losing position. They would always add if the trade is going in their direction. Okay. So you might say, hey, then, my profits will not be that great. But that's not the point. The point is you're still believing in the trend and you're riding with the trend. And when the trend tells you that it is not going in the direction that you intend, you get out, right? So ultimately, folks, the idea here is you follow the process of how whatever is your process, you follow the process to the T and don't worry about the results. This is what the pros do. When you follow the process to the T, the results will take care of itself. Of course, you have to refine the process that you have developed along the way, and you should and everyone's process is different depending upon his abilities, the skills, the mentality, and all those things. But still, if you can develop the process and work on that, and then you follow it to the T and keep refining it and journaling it and do all those things, I promise you guys, the results will take care of itself. So that's what I wanted to share in this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.